Control is gone, as the body no longer obeys, moving with a clumsy lurch that is driven by an alien will. The mind is still inside, where it remains trapped behind its own eyes. Screaming, it's forced to climb higher and higher to a place it shouldn't be, and then it locks its jaws onto a leaf in a final act of self-destruction before it waits for the end. This isn't a scene from The Last of Us, nor is it fiction. It's a real nightmare that happens every day. The victim, however, isn't human. It's an ant. This is the true story of the zombie maker. We're about to follow one ant on her final, horrifying journey. So subscribe now to ensure you never miss another story from the dark side of nature. Welcome to the rainforest floor, which is a vast, chaotic world that also contains its own order. Here, a civilization thrives in the form of a colony of carpenter ants. Millions of them move as one, a collective intelligence that functions as a superorganism, which builds, farms, defends, and wages war with flawless efficiency. Let's follow one of them. A single worker, who we'll call Flora, the forager. Her life is a loop that is both predictable and purposeful, as she's a soldier, citizen, and vital cog in the colony's machine. Her tiny brain is a biological computer, programmed with the single mission of finding food and bringing it home. Her world is one of scent, not sight. So she follows invisible chemical highways laid by her sisters. When she meets another ant, they don't greet, but instead verify each other through a brief exchange of scent that says, "I am family. I am one of you." She is safe, efficient, and perfect in her place. Today, she's on a routine patrol. She leaves the nest and begins to search, focused and unafraid of the forest that teems with danger like spiders and predators. She finds a drop of nectar, which means her mission is a success. She gathers it up and turns to head home. But then, it happens. It's a silent and invisible event. A single microscopic spore, ejected from a stalk above, drifts through the air like a biological landmine, waiting for one wrong step. It lands on her leg. The forager freezes, feeling something wrong, an alien speck on her body. She stops to groom, to clean it off. In a race against time she doesn't even know she's in. She scrapes at it, being both quick and thorough, but she has already lost. While she was cleaning, the spore had already released enzymes that dissolved a microscopic hole through her armor, allowing the infection to get inside. Feeling clean again, she picks up her nectar and returns to the nest, completely unaware that she's now a ticking time bomb who is carrying death straight into her own colony. Inside her, the monster awakens. The spore multiplies, budding into yeast-like cells that spread through her bloodstream, her hemolymph. This isn't an infection, it's an invasion. The fungus, Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, begins building a web of fungal tissue, called mycelium, throughout her body. It threads itself around muscles, organs, and even her central nervous system, creating a second alien wiring inside her. For a week, she seems fine as she works, eats, and shares food. But all the while, the puppet master is tightening its strings, consuming her from within, and converting her into a host-built machine. Then, one day, the colony notices. She starts to glitch. Her movements, once precise, now falter. She stumbles, circles aimlessly, and freezes mid-step. Her sisters, who are attuned to chemical signals, taste the air around her and realize she no longer smells right. She smells corrupted. She's no longer one of them. She's a danger. Soldiers seize her, not to kill, but to exile, dragging her far from the nest and abandoning her among the leaves. She's alone, confused, and now utterly at the mercy of what's inside her. Here begins the true horror, because this fungus isn't a simple parasite, it's a mind control specialist. But here's the twist scientists only recently discovered. It doesn't infect her brain. When researchers scanned infected ants, they found the fungus everywhere, except for the brain. The forager's mind remains intact, conscious, and imprisoned. The fungus has seized control at a deeper level, as its cells fuse directly with her muscle fibers to hijack the signals that make her move. The brain can only watch as the body becomes a puppet. Imagine it, trapped behind your own eyes, begging to turn back while your legs march forward, screaming to stop while your jaws won't listen. The fungus now has one purpose: to reach the perfect location, which is precisely humid, shaded, and 25 centimeters above the forest floor. And so begins the zombie death march. It forces her to climb. The forager lurches upward, awkward and spasmodic. She stumbles and falls, but always rises again, her body climbing a small sapling, driven by an alien instinct. Her brain may be screaming, "Go home," but her legs obey another master. The fungus guides her with eerie precision to the right height of 25 centimeters, onto the north-facing side of a leaf, where sunlight is mild and moisture is perfect. Once the destination is reached, it delivers the final command. It severs the muscles to her antennae, cutting off her senses. Then, with a flood of chemicals, it forces her jaw muscles to clench with unnatural strength. The forager opens her mouth and bites down on the central vein of the leaf. This is the death grip, a permanent anchor so powerful it will hold her body long after death. Her consciousness fades. The forager is gone, but the fungus is only beginning. Her body, now locked in place, becomes the perfect incubator. It's a nutrient fortress, rich with energy and precisely positioned. The fungus now feeds, consuming everything: muscles, organs, leaving only the hard outer shell that keeps it anchored to the leaf. Days later, something terrible emerges. From the back of her head, a dark stalk pushes through the exoskeleton, a grotesque, horn-like structure. This is the fungus's true form, the fruiting body. It grows for days, a slow-motion eruption, a macabre monument rising from her skull. When mature, it releases a deadly, invisible rain of spores. These spores fall not randomly, but perfectly, raining down from that 25-centimeter perch onto the forest floor below, directly onto the invisible ant highway. At this very moment, another forager, one of her sisters, is passing beneath, focused, unaware, and safe. A single spore lands on her leg, and the cycle begins again. The fungus hasn't just killed its host, it has weaponized her, turning her body into a spore cannon aimed straight at her own colony. It is a masterpiece of horror and a strategy of ruthless perfection. This is evolution at its most brutal. As nature designs control, manipulation, and death with surgical precision. But as horrific as it is, it works. Ophiocordyceps has been perfecting this system for millions of years, so entire species of ants have evolved behaviors just to avoid it, moving their colonies higher to avoid the zombie zone of infected leaves. And still, the fungus wins. Scientists have even found entire graveyards of dead ants, each frozen in that same death grip, with jaws locked to leaves at identical heights, all facing the same direction. It is a silent forest of tiny tombs, each a monument to the same unstoppable cycle: control, infection, death, rebirth, all from a microscopic spore. The forager's colony continues its work, and her sisters never know what became of her. They simply adapt, clean, rebuild, and move on, allowing the superorganism to endure. But above them, hidden in the foliage, the fruiting body waits, its spores falling silently, endlessly, into the world below. One of them will find a host, and the story will begin again. If you thought this story was horrifying, wait until you meet the wasp that lays its eggs inside a living caterpillar, keeping it alive while its larvae eat it from the inside out. That's next time. For more journeys into nature's strangest, darkest corners, subscribe to Zoonomics. You'll never look at the world the same way again.